When you look at a resume, what do you usually see? A list of jobs, right? But what if it's more than that? What if it's actually a roadmap, a story of growth, of skill, and of ambition? That's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to break down the career of Lalit Maan to really understand the anatomy of a successful data career. So let's dive right in.
All right, so every great story needs a mission statement, doesn't it? And this is Lalit's. This isn't just one of those generic objectives you see on every resume. No, this is a real statement of intent. It frames his entire journey. It tells you right away, he's not just looking for another job. He's looking for a challenge, a place where he can really make an impact. So, the big question is, how's he lived up to that?
So where is this quest for a challenge taken him? Well, to really get the full picture, we're going to do something a little different. We're actually going to start at the end, or, well, his most recent role. That way we can see the peak of his skills, the culmination of everything he's learned, right from the very beginning of our analysis.
Okay, so since late 2019, he's been at Santech Solution, which is a company in the U.S. healthcare space. And check out his title. It's pretty interesting. He's a data research analyst and a Salesforce administrator. Right there, that tells you something. It's a really powerful combination, right? He can dig up insights from data, but he can also manage the systems that actually turn those insights into action.
And this chart, I think this is fascinating. It shows you this is not your typical one-note role. Look at this breakdown. Half his time is spent on B2B lead generation. That's the core sales stuff. But then another 30% is all about the tech stack, managing Salesforce and the CRM. And the last 20%, that's campaign strategy. He's a perfect example of what we're seeing more and more of, a hybrid professional who connects the dots between data, technology, and actual business growth.
And look at these responsibilities. This really shows you he's not just overseeing things from a distance. No, he is deep in the trenches doing the hands-on work. We're talking managing user profiles, running complex data mapping for integrations, actually building the dashboards that track results, and then doing that really meticulous, super important work of prospecting and cleaning up data. He's doing it all.
Okay, so he's clearly got the skills. But let's be real. Skills are one thing. The impact is what really counts. So what did all this expertise actually lead to? Let's look at the results, because the numbers here, they tell a really, really compelling story.
First up, this number, 20,000 plus. Just let that sink in for a second. Over 20,000 contacts. And this isn't some list he went out and bought. No, this is a strategic asset he built for the company from scratch, through his own research. That's literally the fuel that makes any sales or marketing engine run.
Okay, now this next metric, this one really says something about his resourcefulness. An 80% email find rate. And get this, he did it all without using any paid subscription tools. That's incredible. It shows he's got this deep, almost detective-like skill for prospecting. It's scrappy, it's smart, and it's super effective. But hey, what's the use of finding all those emails if they just bounce back, right? Well, that's where this next number comes in, a 75% delivery rate. That's the proof. It tells you the data isn't just big, it's accurate, it's high quality. And that right there is the foundation for any successful campaign.
So we've seen where he is now, the peak of his abilities. But that makes you wonder, right? How did he get here? Where did he build this foundation? Let's rewind the tape a bit and find out where these skills came from.
It turns out those building blocks were put in place at two huge Indian companies. First, TVS Motors, a massive name in the auto industry, and Kotak Mahindra Bank, a major player in finance. Think about it. Those are seriously data-heavy industries. They demand precision, they demand rigor. You couldn't ask for a better training ground. And you can really see him leveling up at TVS Motors. This is where his analytical horsepower gets built. I mean, he's not just running the same old reports. He's creating over 15 different kinds of them, automating tricky Excel workflows. And then, this is key, translating all that data for the big bosses in executive presentations. This is the moment he goes from just reporting numbers to truly analyzing what they mean for the business.
But, a skill set like that doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. His work at TVS was actually built on an even earlier foundation of core reporting skills. You can see a clear pattern here. He's just layering new, more advanced abilities on top of a really solid base.
So you know what? Let's go all the way back. Let's look at the very beginning of his career and see how this whole journey started.
This timeline just lays it all out so clearly. It all starts back in 2016 at Reliance Jio. His first role? Data verification executive. That's ground zero, right? The absolute foundation of good data. Then he makes a move up to MIS executive at Kotak Mahindra Bank, where he starts sharpening those reporting skills. And then he takes that same title, but to a totally new industry at TVS Motors, pushing those skills into much deeper analysis. See the pattern? Each move is a logical, clear step up.
Okay, so we've walked through the whole journey. Let's put it all together. What does his complete toolkit look like right now? What are the skills he's bringing to the table?
It really breaks down into two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have his technical skills, the what. These are the powerhouse tools like Salesforce, Power BI, Advanced Excel. You need these. But then, just as important, you have his personal skills, the how. That's the problem solving, the teamwork, the self-motivation, all the things that actually make the tech skills valuable and produce real results.
And really, when you think about it, all of this, the journey, the skills he's built, the results he's gotten, it brings us right back to where we started. It brings us full circle to that initial mission statement.
So here we are again looking at that same quote, but this time it's different. It's not just a hopeful aspiration anymore, is it? Now it's backed by years of real-world experience, hard numbers, and a super clear path of growth. You can see he has methodically built the exact toolkit he needs to take on a really significant challenge.
So that leaves us with just one big question, right? After a journey of such steady growth and proven impact, what's the next big challenge for a data pro like him? What does he conquer next? Because from everything we've seen, he is absolutely ready for it.